Hi, my name is Jacqueline, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to animate a scene in After Effects. So the things that you're going to need prior knowledge of is there's two things. You're going to need to know how to use Adobe Illustrator as well as Adobe After Effects. The main points of this video will be developing a scene in Illustrator and then animating it in After Effects. And you are going to need access to a computer that has the Adobe programs on it. So let's get started. So let's go over our objectives for today. By the end of this video, you will be able to know how to use the Layers tool to separate pieces of a graphic scene, apply knowledge of Illustrator and After Effects, identify components that work best animated, and animate items in Adobe After Effects. So our learning plans for today is to apply Illustrator to a pre-existing scene and apply different transitions to objects in After Effects. Our learning activities for today is to find a pre-existing graphic design using freepik.com or any other free online resource that you have access to. Use Adobe Illustrator to separate the layers of the graphic. Upload Illustrator files to Adobe After Effects, and use tools in After Effects to animate a scene. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab a Illustrator graphic scene, and you can get this at freepik.com or any other website where you can get free Illustrator graphics. And so we're going to go under Layers and then expand the background, and then we are going to move our object onto different layers. So you're going to want to start out by making a couple different layers, and then we're going to ungroup our image because this one happens to be grouped, and then we can click on our tree and you see the little red box on the tree layer, and you're going to take that and drag it to one of your new layers. So taking our tree, and we're going to drag it to layer 4, and make sure that you name your layers. That's going to be really important when we get into the animation part, because you're going to want to know what is where. So we're going to do a couple more. So I am going to animate my birds. So again, naming that layer. So the best things to animate are going to be the trees, the moons, the stars, and the clouds. So in my instance, we are going to animate the trees, the birds, and the moon. So once you have all of your layers selected, you're going to want to go under Artboard and double click that, and we are going to change the width and the height to 1920 by 1080, and we're going to click OK. Then you're going to want to select all of your layers, zoom out a little bit, and you're going to want to resize them. So from there, we are going to go to File, Save As, and you are going to want to save this as an Illustrator file. So once you have your Illustrator file saved and ready to go, we are going to open After Effects. We're going to open the folder where we saved our Illustrator file and drag and drop. And you want to make sure that the import kind is a composition so that it works correctly. And then from here, we're going to drag and drop it onto the timeline. Then you're going to double click, and you'll see that our layers that we made are there. So for most items, you can use the basic transform to animate things. So for example, we're going to move the moon. We're going to create a keyframe on the timeline and then move it to where you would like it to go. We're going to create another keyframe because I want this to go out. We can do the same thing with the scale or the rotation. So for this, I'm going to demonstrate the rotation. We're going to start with our keyframe, and then we are going to want to rotate our birds, and then go to the next keyframe, and we are going to rotate our birds again. And let's watch it and see how that looks. So once you finish that, we can use what is called the puppet tool. Little pen tool right here, and we are going to apply it to the tree layer. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a point at the bottom and a point at the top. And then you are going to go We can do the same thing with the scale or the rotation. So for this, I'm going to demonstrate the rotation. We're going to start with our keyframe, and then we are going to want to rotate our birds, and then go to the next keyframe, and we are going to rotate our birds again. So once you finish that, we can use what is called the puppet tool. Little pen tool right here, and we are going to apply it to the tree layer. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to make a point at the bottom and a point at the top. So once you have your point, you can take your timeline arrow and move it. So we are going to leave it right there, and then we're going to move it just a little bit, and you're going to drag that top point either to the left or to the right, and then you are going to drag along your timeline and do the same thing. After that, you will have movement in your trees. From there, what we're going to do is we're going to go under layer, go to new, and we are going to create a null object. And so once you have your null object, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight all your layers, and you are going to use the parent button, and we are going to link all of our object layers into null. And so what this does is this allows us to transform it even further, and this is going to transform the entire scene. So what we can do is we can do a scale in, and we'll say we want it to go all the way in, and then we're going to zoom it out. And so let's see how that looks. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go under effects, and we are going to add noise. Now with noise, what you want it to be is you want it to be between 4 and 5%. So we are going to leave mine at 4, and what this does is it makes it not so sharp, so it makes it feel more real. Congratulations, you made it through. So what I want you to do now is go ahead and pause the video, and we're going to do what's called a 3, 2, 1 reflection. And that is 3 things you remember from this session, 2 ways that you can apply what you learned today, and one strategy that you're going to use in the next week or next month. So thank you for watching, and reach out if you have any questions.